Leone Sanciello, what's up, y'all? Bless the essence for the essence blesses. Psychic trauma here. Hashtag living the stream. We're doing some compTIA stuff, so let's check out compTIA. Dude, we're still in lesson 1. They say it takes 12 weeks, but fuck, dude. I gotta get at it, right? Where's my here we go. We gotta go over here, right? I gotta stay focused. It's beautiful outside. I have a doctor's appointment in an hour and a half, and yeah. Okay, let's see if the audio is doing good. Hello, audio, volume. Okay, it sounds good. We're going to mute that. Take this off. Okay, so we're going to go to compTIA. We're going to do a present, share screen, compTIA, allow. We'll go like this. Okay, here we are. So as you can see, our grades have not been that well. Yeah, we're rocking out a D so far, but a D is passing. But I'm normally a straight A student. All right, especially towards the end. You know, the longer I'm involved in something, the more I understand. So, oh shit! All right. Modify enterprise capabilities to enhance security performance-based questions. Modify enterprise capabilities to enhance security performance. You are a junior security administrator for a U.S.-based financial institution recently undergoing a third-party security audit. The audit revealed vulnerabilities related to the institution's web services and outdated transport layer security, TLS configurations. Your task is to analyze these vulnerabilities and propose remediations that comply with regulatory standards and enhance the institution's security posture. Requirements and considerations. Log analysis. You have received security logs indicating potential compliance and security risks. Analyze the logs and recommend actions to mitigate the risks indicated by the logs. Web services. The audit report found that some areas of your web services were using HTTP, which is insecure and vulnerable to attacks. Identify these areas and suggest secure alternatives, such as using HTTPS, right? Transport layer security. Your institution relied on older versions of TLS, which pose significant risks, such as being susceptible to downgrade attacks. Suggest updated configurations that follow industry best practices and standards. Compliance. Any proposed changes must conform to federal regulations and industry compliance standards. No, the institution will evaluate your recommendations based on how well they adhere to compliance standards and improve the financial institution's security posture. Alrighty. Log analysis. Multiple failed login attempts detected from IP address 195.128.100.5. Location, Russia. Multiple failed login attempts detected at IP 60.50.150.110, location Malaysia. Warning, unauthorized data access attempt on file customer financial records. User anonymous. Warning, unauthorized data access attempt on file customer financial records. Oh, so like 30 seconds later, twice. Mitigation actions. One way would be to enable GeoIP blocking, increase firewall strength. Conduct a password audit. Select. Conduct a software license. Implement multi-factor authentication. Yes, we will go with implement multi-factor authentication. Web services. Secure protocol. We'll go with the HTTPS. Web application cipher. We're going to have to ask about that one. What is the best cipher to secure web applications? Motherfucker. What is the best cipher to secure web applications? Well, there's no single best cipher for web applications. The best practices for securing them include encryption, secure coding, and input validation. Okay, I'm looking for all the options that it shows. Which is a better cipher for web applications? AES-128-CBC or AES-256-GCM-SHA384?
According to Alfresco Hub, so to summarize, AES 128 has fewer known attacks than AES 256, is impractical to attack brute force, and is less computationally intensive than AES 256, so it's a valid to use in an SSL TLS cipher suite.
Okay, they're giving me confusing, conflicting answers. We'll go with this one, even though they're saying 128 TLS version. We'll go with the SSL3. Compliance considerations. Directly relevant regulatory compliance. What is the best directly relevant regulatory compliance? GDPR or GLBA or HIPAA or PCI-DSS? It could be the PCI DSS because that's payment credit information or something like that. And they're going for financial records. Okay, the GDPR, I think. GLBA applies only to financial institutions, while GDPR applies to any organization that processes the personal data of EU citizens. So we'll go with the GLBA. Oh, damn, we missed one. Enable geoblocking will directly access the suite of multiple failed login attempts from foreign IPs by blocking potentially malicious foreign traffic. Conducting a password audit directly addresses the unauthorized data access attempts, which may be due to weak passwords. Implementing multi-factor authentication adds an additional layer of security that can protect against various types of unauthorized access attempts, including those from foreign IPs and those attempting to access financial records. HTTPS is the secure version of HTTP, commonly used for web services that require encryption and authentication. HTTP2 offers performance but lacks inherent security. Secure Socket Layer Transport Layer Security, SSL. TS refers to cryptographic protocols rather than specific secure web protocol. Wi-Fi Protected Access, WPA3, is for wireless security, not web services. Alrighty, so that's here. All right, now we got to go with this. We got to look at that one. Alrighty. Okay, the 256 GCM SHA-38 provides higher level security and performance for web applications. 128 is less secure. Blowfish is older and less secure. And the DES EDA3-CBC is outdated. TLS 1.3 is the latest and most secure version of TLS. Suitable for high security web applications. SSL v3, TLS 1.0, TLS 1.1 are older and less secure protocols. I could have asked just which one's the most secure out of those, but I didn't do it properly. Alrighty. The Graham-Leach-Bailey Act, GLBA, is directly relevant to financial institutions and focuses on protecting consumer financial information, aligning well with the scenario's requirements. General data protection regulation is meant for data protection in the European Union. HIPAA, Health Insurance Portability and Accountability Act, is specifically to healthcare. And Payment Card Industry Data Secure Standards, PCI DSS, focuses on credit card data. These options are not tailored to general cybersecurity needs of a financial institution in the scenario described. Alrighty. Yep, missed one. We did pretty good there, right? Not bad. Okay, analyze indicators of malware-based attacks. Scenario. As a security analyst, you must investigate intrusions into your organization's extensive network and understand why they happen. Recently, a malicious actor infected 2 hosts, and you need to reconstruct the attack and its methods so that the network and users can have protection against future malicious activity. You will need to think like the malicious actor and rebuild the attacks based on the defenses and vulnerabilities present in the exploited systems. Oh, shit. All right. Based on the scenario, use drop-down selectors to select the malware type that best fits the malicious actor's goal, attack vector, delivery method, and payload to defeat, exploit the victim's defense or vulnerabilities. Ah! Victims' defenses. Basic cybersecurity measures like firewall and antivirus software. Victims' vulnerabilities. Using a corporate email to register for business discounts on personal purchases. Oh, that's not good. You're not supposed to do that. Malicious actors' goals. Gain access to sensitive information like corporate data, intellectual property, and personal details. Okay. Victims' vulnerabilities. They're using their corporate email to register for business discounts on personal purchases. So the malicious actor can say, oh, hey, we're fucking Louis Vuitton, all right? And you want a business discount, click this link through their corporate email. All right, malware type. They probably use a Trojan. Attack vector. Damn, I actually don't know this. Fuck. I would just use a malicious file. Delivery method. Application vulnerability, network vulnerability, phishing or hoaxing email. The payload. Gain access to sensitive information like corporate data, intellectual property, and personal details. Would that be a keylogger or ransomware? I'm not sure. Scenario 2, victims' defenses. VPNs updated with the latest patches, network security, and monitoring capabilities. Victims' vulnerability. Use of personal devices with miscellaneous unpatched software accessing a virtual event. Malicious actor's goal. Loss of availability and financial gain by encrypting data. All right, by encrypting data, that would be the ransomware. All right, malware type. I got to look up malware types. What are malware types and what do they do? Malware don't really stuff. Blah 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 blah. Okay, what are five types of malware and what do they do? Spyware, adware, Trojan, worms. Collect user data is spyware. Adware, Trojans disguise itself as desirable code. When it spreads through the network by replicating itself is a worm. $12 types of malware. All right. Fileless malware makes changes to files that are native to the OS. All right. Neither one did that. Spyware collects data, collects user activity data without their knowledge. Adware serves unwanted advertisement. Trojans disguise itself as desirable code. Worm spreads through network by replicating itself. Rootkit gives hacker remote control of victim's device. So we got to go up and fix Trojan on the other one. Keylogger monitors users' keystrokes. Bots launch a broad flood of attacks. Mobile malware infects mobile devices. Wiper malware erases data beyond recovery. All right, ransomware software that uses encrypted to disable access to its data until ransom is paid. Files doesn't install anything. Instead, it makes changes to files that are native to the operating system. Spyware adware. Hold on, let's go here. Trojan disguises itself as driver software once downloaded by Trojans may hide in game apps or others. Okay. Worms target vulnerabilities not to install themselves network gain access. So this may use personal device with malicious unpatched software accessing the event. So that would probably be a worm, right? So we're gonna go with worm. Attack vector. It's a malicious file because I don't know delivery method. We'll go with application vulnerability because they're using unpatched software. All right, we're gonna go with these. Finish. Oh shit, we got the last one wrong. It happens. Black Pussy Matters, hello, what's up? Out here doing this, trying to finish this thing. When reconstructing the attacks, one must first analyze the victim's network and system to find attack vectors, delivery methods, and probable payloads. The attack vector is how the attacker gains access to the victim's machine. The delivery method is the attacker's route to place malicious code in the victim's machine. The payload is the actual malware involved, tailored to the attacker's objectives. Scenario 1, which we got correct all the way through. Intellectual property theft by exploiting employee use of corporate emails for personal use. Using a corporate email address to register for business discounts for personal purchases can expose victims to the risk of phishing attacks and potential malware infections. Cyber criminals actively monitor websites that offer business discounts. They scrape email addresses and purchase lists of email addresses associated with companies to build their target list. The attackers could use social engineering techniques to make an email seem urgent or enticing, encouraging the victim to take action. The phishing email contains an attachment that appears to have a relation to the business discounts the victim registered for. However, the attachment is malicious. It contains embedded scripts that exploit vulnerabilities in the victim's system software. Once the attacker gains control, they can steal sensitive information, log keystrokes, take screenshots, and potentially move laterally within the corporate network. Alrighty, so let's look at all this. All right, I got these three wrong, right? Malware type, attack vector, and delivery method. All right, so scenario 2, loss of availability and financial gain by encrypting data. This scenario indicates that the victim has some network protection in place. Out of the available malware types, using a Trojan would embed crypto ransomware could accomplish the attacker's goal if the attacker can bypass network defenses. So this would have been Trojan. The victim relies heavily on Microsoft Office products. Is that in there? It does not say that. Which, according to the CISA, remain one of the top 2 targeted software product lines by malicious actors, with unpatched systems and embedded documents listed as vulnerabilities. The best attack vector and delivery system would be a watering hole in which the victim thinks they are registering for an upcoming popular event and receive a confirmation email with a malicious MS Office file. Now, if they would have put in the Microsoft Office thing in that fucking, right? Because nowhere in here does it say any of that, okay? But it does give you that Microsoft Office option. Alrighty. Since the victim systems permits embedded content execution (OLE), this would enable the execution of embedded crypto ransomware in the most efficient manner possible. The sequence of techniques described has proven successful against the critical infrastructure and energy sectors of the United States, including in oil pipeline operations, where vulnerable Microsoft products have contributed to successful crypto ransomware attacks. Okay, so the second one was kind of because they put a lot of emphasis on Microsoft Office right here, and right here, Microsoft Office products and the watering hole. Okay, so it would be Trojan. So it would go Trojan, Microsoft Office thingy, watering hole, and we got the crypto ransomware correct. Kind of a tricky question there. Okay. So we're at 66%. We're still at a passing D. Apply appropriate policies and regulations. And I took a fucking huge, massive shit. Now I'm feeling weird from it. I also ate afterwards. Alrighty, here we go. Scenario. A small publicly traded radiological clinic in California wants to rebuild its electronic medical record system. They are moving away from paper to electronic records. However, they know there are legal implications to completing the configuration and need help ensuring that it complies with all applicable regulations and standards. The clinic works with an outsourced consultancy firm to help set up the new system. The clinic sent the firm a new requirements for the project. The clinic sent the firm a few requirements for the project. The clinic also mentioned that they partner with a local university for a co-op program to help business and medical students prepare for after graduation. The requirements the clinic sent the consultancy firm. The EMR, the blah blah blah, electronic medical records. The electronic medical records needs to follow all applicable regulations and standards. The clinic's human resource system should link to the EMR to ensure access only to the necessary sections of the EMR. The EMR provides the fuck, dude. I cannot fucking construction right next door. Okay. The clinic's human resource system should link the electronic medical records to ensure access only to the necessary sections of the EMR. The electronic medical records provides the ability to process payments and insurance claims handled by the business co-ops. The business co-ops cannot have access to patient treatment data, but will need to know what medical codes to bill for so they can bill insurance or the patient. The electronic medical records allows medical students to walk through recommended treatment plans, but should limit their access to patient data. There needs to be a way for the governance committee to audit the system to ensure the staff can properly fill out the records without visible patient information. Properly fill out the records without visible patient information, right? The HR system is locally hosted, while the EMR system, located on the East Coast of the United States, is in the cloud and handles the company's financial data. Alrighty. Based upon the click boxes and drag the regulation to the system it falls under. Medical records. All right. Access. Um, and billing codes. This is a little confusing. You know, I don't know if I'm this type of learner, but I got to go with it, right? Okay, so HR systems. It's asked. Hmm. What does SOX mean when it comes to HR systems and EMR systems? The Sarbanes-Oxley compliance for HR departments. All right, that's what that is. Establishes strict requirements for U.S. corporations around the recording and reporting of accurate financial information. Many SOX requirements directly impact human resource functions. An important part of SOX compliance that often overlooked is the involvement of paid time off. What does SOX mean in healthcare? The Sarbanes-Oxley Act of 2002 was passed by the United States Congress to protect the public from fraudulent or erroneous practices by corporations or other business entities. So I think that would be paid time off. What is CCPA when it comes to HR systems and or EMR systems? Why CCPA compliance matters to HR. Privacy disclosure are central to CCPA compliance, and businesses have already had to provide some information to job applicants. All right. What is CCPA in HR? Effective January 1st, 2023, California employers will be required to comply with the California Privacy Rights Act of 2020. The CPRA amended the California Consumer Privacy Act of 2018 to CCPA. Many California businesses have been complying with the CPA to protect data obtained from consumers. All right, would CCPA go in EMR number 2? Well, what does CCPA stand for in healthcare? The California Consumer Privacy Act was enacted in comprehensive consumer data legislation that increases privacy protection. All right, so that would be here, I think. All righty. What is ISO 27017 in regards to HR systems and our EMR systems? What is ISO and how does it inform clouds? This standard provides guidelines and general principles for securing cloud-based systems and protecting against potential threats. All right, what is the standard? What is ISO 27001? All right, what is the ISO 27001 standard for HR? Are ensuring that staff are appropriately vetted, that their contracts contain relevant confidentiality clauses, that staff remain fully informed of the information. Oh, these have nothing to do with these. Okay, fuck. I think I've got no idea. I think the difference between access and regulations, so these three do not coordinate with these three. I'm a little confused. We're going for it. Oh, shoot. I got 18 out of 30 correct. The business co-ops only need enough information to process bills and claims for insurance. So I guess we'll get to it. Let's talk about this. All right. The business co-ops only need enough information to process bills and claims to insurance and the patients. They will need access to the patient's information, such as name, address, insurance provider, and the contact information. They must also know what medical codes they need to ensure the correct billing. All right. The medical, so that would mean we got the business co-op one. All right, medical co-ops, we did not get correct. Nor did we get governance committee. The medical co-ops must access the system to enter medical symptoms and receive the recommended treatment plans. They do not necessarily need to know the patients or any other information. Medical staff will need to see everything, as they are handling all tasks, current and historical. So that would be, yeah, I guess they would need billing codes also, all right? Which is odd because the medical co-ops, it says it doesn't need the billing codes. Okay, so they would need recommended treatment plans. All right, this one's confusing for medical co-ops. Clinical staff, okay. For billing codes, I guess they need that. Governance committee, I guess I got. We'll look at that. All right, because I missed all those. The governance committee does not need to know patient information, as their auditing is to ensure proper filing of medical records. So this is the only one they don't need. The rest, they need medical records, patient medical symptoms, record of treatment plans, patient treatment data. See, that's confusing because it's saying that right here, the governance committee does not need to know patient information, as their auditing is to ensure proper filing of medical records. So they would need medical records, but why would they need medical symptoms? Right? Okay. Confusing as fuck. The company's location is in California. Oh, it doesn't even give you the scenario again. I don't recall reading it was in California. So the California Consumer Privacy Act, CCPA, covers data retained by the company about employees. That's over here. Additionally, the systems fall under the International Organization for Standards, ISO 27001, for storage and handling of data and security of the system. Since the HR system handles the company's financial data, it falls under the federal Sarbanes-Oxley Act, the SOX regulations. Okay, so we got that. Alrighty. So then this one here would be up here, and this one would be down here. Oh my God. Seriously, they're marking me wrong for that. As the EMR system handles credit card processing, it falls under the Payment Card Industry Data Security Standards, the PCI-DSS. Regulations. Additionally, it will fall under the Federal Health Insurance Portability and Accountability Act regulations, HIPAA. Lastly, since the cloud hosts the system, ISO 27017 covers the handling and storage of data in the system security in the cloud. Wow. So this was a real tricky question for me, okay? Because I'm still a little like, okay, why are some of these marked wrong? And these should just be switched. So yeah, I don't know if we got passing on that one. Technically, we got a passing. We were at 65%. We dropped down from 66%. We're at a D average, not even a D plus. We will move on to apply appropriate techniques to secure data. Alrighty. Apply appropriate techniques to secure data. As a data system security specialist for healthcare institution involved in research, you must ensure the organization's adherence to security best practices and data sharing. Specifically, the institution's commitment to preserving patient confidentiality requires obfuscating sensitive data before exchanging data with the research collaborators. Your primary role includes applying appropriate techniques to obfuscate specific data columns. This process will safeguard both personally identifiable information, PII, and personal health information, PHI, yet ensure that the data remains functional for research objectives. Points to note. While ensuring data security, it is imperative to retain the ability of research associates to assess the veracity of lab outcomes based upon the employee testing procedures. What the fuck does that mean? While ensuring data security, it is important to make sure that the ability of the scientists are able to access the information of lab outcomes based upon the employee testing procedures. Researchers will analyze the precision of blood tests concerning diverse diagnosis outcomes, so data integrity is crucial. Researchers will analyze the precision of the test concerning diverse diagnostic outcomes, concerning the difference of the outcomes. So data integrity is crucial. All right, select the fields in each tab that you should obfuscate and the techniques that you can use to properly obfuscate that data. All righty, Ashel Patel, social security number, birthday, gender, diagnosis, flu, email address, phone number, insurance provider. Lab test, blood test. On this date, results positive from this doctor. Patient ID is this guy up here. No additional comments. Identify the fields in each table that you should obfuscate. Social security number. Because they don't need that. See, that's odd because alrighty, so let's go back to here, the scenario. While ensuring data security, it is imperative to retain the ability of researchers to associate the scientists to assess the lab outcomes based upon the employee testing procedures. The scientists will analyze the precision of blood tests concerning the differences between the diagnostic outcomes, so data integrity is crucial. Okay, so they don't need the birth date, they don't need the email address, and they don't need the phone number, but they may need the birth date. Obviously, they need the patient's name. They need the lab test. They need the test date. They need the results. They don't need the doctor. And I think they need the patient ID to apply it, right? Rate the level of risk associated with the selected fields. Well, Social Security is kind of hard. High. Select the techniques that you can use to properly obfuscate the data. Masking? Here we go. 12 out of 16. Oh, I guess on the top one, I was supposed to just fucking click all of them because I guess they don't need the patient name either. All right. So obfuscation replaces personally identified information with artificial identifiers or pseudonyms that are unique to each person but do not reveal their identity. Okay, so we should have hid the name on the first one, the patient name. Obfuscation protects the privacy of individuals by making it difficult to link the data back to a specific person. Okay. Now, we were supposed to hide patient ID and allow the doctor. And fuck. Okay. Let's get back to that. Alrighty. The patient name, social security number, birthday, email address, phone number, columns containing PII require pseudonymization to protect patient privacy. You can replace these fields with pseudonyms that are unique to each patient but do not reveal their identity. The patient ID field is a unique identifier assigned to each patient by the hospital that links the patient's records to the hospital database. While this field does not contain PII, you could combine it with additional data given to the research group to link the data back to a specific person, so it would be best practice to obfuscate it as well. The other fields containing information about the patient's medical history and treatment, which is essentially for providing care, but does not reveal the patient's identity. Estimating the risk of the selected columns is high is correct. Failing to obfuscate PIA could result in identity theft or insurance fraud. Data masking and tokenization are for de-identification. De-identification obfuscates data from databases for storage without compromising privacy. Okay, so I thought they were just asking for one on this one, but I guess it's select the techniques. Got to read that question, all right, properly. So, hey, we didn't do bad. What do we get? We get a C on that one, right? We got a C, I think. Yes, we got an average C. Okay, we're rocking out a mid-grade D right here. Overall, we have a mid-grade D, which is technically passing. So now we're going to move on to the final one, and then we may call this live stream because it's been going on for an hour. All right, explain privacy and data sensitivity concepts. Okay. A large retail company has a substantial amount of data. As a security consultant, the organization has hired you to review and recommend how to adequately manage their data. Focusing on privacy concepts, data classification, and compliance monitoring. You will identify data controllers and stewards and assess compliance monitoring needs. You will identify data controllers and stewards and assess compliance monitoring needs. All right, notes. Some databases may have public data available to external users. Some databases may have restricted data available to internal users only. Some databases may have personally identifiable information data. The sales catalog developed with information from the inventory databases is available to consumers. Only the sales department can view sales data linked to customer ID numbers. Employee data includes addresses, phone numbers, and other highly sensitive information. The sales category contains product IDs, item names, description, and inventory information. The sales database contains the same amount, customer name, ID number, and address. All right. Employee data includes addresses, phone numbers, and other highly sensitive information. The sales catalog contains product IDs, ID names, descriptions, and inventory information. The sales database contains the sale amount, customer name, ID number, and address. What the fuck are we doing? A large retail company has a substantial amount of data. As a security consultant, the organization has hired you to review and recommend how to adequately manage their data. Focusing on privacy concepts, data classification, and compliance monitoring, you will identify data controllers and stewards and assess compliance monitoring needs. All right, let's fucking do this. Catalog database, data classification, public, because that's the public catalog database, right? Data controller, is that a none? You guys don't get to see the drop-down selections, all right? Data steward, finance sales department, right? Because they're the catalog database. So we'll go back here, scenario. The sales catalog developed with information from the inventory database is available to customers. All right. Only the sales department can view sales data linked ID customers. The sales catalog contains product IDs, ID's name, descriptions, inventory information. The sales database contains the sell amount, customer. All righty. All right. Data steward. Sales department. Compliance monitoring required? I don't think so. Man, I got to finish this and take a massive shit. All right, sales database, data classification, restricted, right? Because the sales database is at the bottom. The sales catalog, blah blah. Only the sales department can view this. The sales database contains the sell amount, customer name, ID, and address. All right, so we want that. That's either restricted or critical. We'll go restricted. Data controller. Chief Financial Officer, Data Steward. That would be the sales department, right? Compliance monitoring required? Yes. Employee database. That's personnel are critical. Data controller, human resources director, data steward, human resource department, compliance monitoring is required. Inventory database. We'll say restricted. No, but inventory database. All right, that's somewhere in here again. All right. The sales catalog contains an inventory information. The sales catalog developed with information from the inventory database is available to customers. Some databases have public data available to external users. So the inventory database versus the catalog database. Inventory. Would that be public or restricted? All right, because it's inventory, not catalog, we will say restricted. The data controller would be, I want to say none. Data steward would be the operations department. This doesn't have operations department. So inventory controller, we'll say chief information officer or none. And the operations department would be their steward and compliance is required. Fuck. All right, 11 out of 16. Okay. So, so this doesn't need compliance, which monitoring compliance, I don't understand why. And this one right here is the one. Oh my God, this doesn't need compliance. That is wow. Okay, let's look at it. The catalog's database data classification is public. Okay, we'll go up. Public, all right. Allowing consumers to view and order product. The sales director is chosen as the data controller for the catalog database because they oversee the strategy, planning, and execution of sales, including the presentation of the product catalog to customers. The controller's role in determining how data is processed aligns with the sales director responsibility for displaying and selling products. The sales department is responsible for the quality of the product information database, making them the ideal steward. Right. Their duties in ensuring accurate representation, correct pricing, and appropriate categorization align with the steward's role in maintaining data quality. Compliance monitoring is not required as the data does not include personal or sensitive information. In the sales database, restricted is the selected data classification, limiting access to internal users due to personal information from customers attached to sales data. Since the database deals with internal sales planning and forecasting, the sales director, all right, so it would be sales director for data controller on both of those, oversees these aspects and is the best choice for the data controller. They decide how to utilize this data to achieve sales targets. Again, the sales department is selected as the data steward as they manage the quality of sales related data. They ensure that forecasts, projections, and planning documents are accurate and up to date. Compliance monitoring is unnecessary as no personally identified information is involved. You think it would because sales database with internal sales planning and sales. All righty, but whatever. That's what they're saying. Okay. The employee database contains personal information. So the employee database we got right all the way through. Okay. Employee database contains personnel data, including sensitive and restricted information such as PAI. The employee database contains sensitive personal information about employees. The human resource director, responsible for overall HR strategy and employee management, is the most suitable data controller. They determine how employee data is collected, stored, and used within the organization. The Human Resource Department takes on the role of data steward, focusing on maintaining the quality of employee information. Their tasks include ensuring accurate employee records, confidentiality, and compliance with relevant regulations, unlike other databases. Compliance monitoring is essential for the employee database to secure, manage, and protect PII. The inventory database's data classification is restricted because it contains proprietary data specific to current and future products. The inventory database links to operational aspects such as product stocking, supply chain management, and future product planning. The chief operations officer overseeing these areas is the best choice as the data controller. Chief operations officer, all right? The chief operations officer overseeing these areas is the best choice as the data controller, determining how inventory data is processed. The operations department manages the inventory, making them the suitable data steward for this database. Their role involves ensuring accurate tracking, proper labeling, and effective utilization of inventory. Since the data doesn't contain PII, personal identifiable information, or other particular sensitive information, compliance monitoring is not required. Oh, alrighty. We will exit. Okay, overall we got a 66%. That is a D, yet it is passing. Okay, here we go. Let's go back to lessons, learning plan. Okay, so we have assisted lab configuring example of security control types and our lesson 1 practice questions. So everybody, we've been here for an hour and 8 minutes. I'm going to call it. I have a doctor's appointment soon. So I'm going to go to the bathroom and then head off to my doctor's appointment. So everybody in YouTube land, let's close out of here. We'll go with a stop screen. There we go. All right. So everybody in YouTube land, stay warm if you need to stay warm. Stay cool if you need to stay cool. Stay healthy, stay safe. Stay sober if you're choosing sobriety, because I'm on a sobriety trip right now until about the 4th of July. All right, so everybody, peace, love you. After our doctor's stuff, we'll come back and do the assistant lab configuring examples of security control types and the lesson 1 practice questions. All right, have fun, y'all.